Coach, any way you slice it, that was a huge win. It was an amazing scene. But that was then, this is now, you move on.
Yep.
How is this team, what's the week of practice been like coming off such a big win?
Well, to say there isn't a little bit of an exhale would not be accurate, but I think that the guys who maybe didn't play as much, they've sort of pushed this week. And then as we got to the middle of the week, everybody else kind of, caught up with it. I thought Wednesday practice had some energy to it. So we know we got to get better. We got a lot of work to do. This is a race against time. And we're competing against every team in the country, not just our opponent this week.
That was a physical game. How sore were the kids? I
Yeah.
mean, that was a heavyweight championship fight.
It was. And if you're not used to playing, 30, 40, some guys 50 snaps in a game of a physical game like that, that's part of the process. And I think that's the message for a lot of these starters, the guys who are carrying water now, is that now you got to bring it every week. That's part of being a starter. That's part of being great. When you're a guy who plays 15, 20 snaps, it's easy to recover the next week because you know they're probably going to play 15 or 20 again. Well, every week you're playing this many snaps. So that's why you've got to take care of your body. You've got to take care of your mind, and you got to get your spirit ready to go every Saturday. And that means discipline. Discipline during the week, making sure that you're going to bed at night, you're eating right, you're keeping your body weight right, you're doing the recovery that you need to do. So all those things will add up.
I'm interested in the culture you've created here because defending national champions,
Yeah.
and I don't know, the way the guys have approached this year, that was then, this is now.
Yeah.
What is the culture like here right
Well,
now?
I think one thing, some people have always said to me, Coach, why do you always say you got to win every game? And, they expect, well, because that's what it is. We have to win every game here. And I think when you're a recruit and you come to a game like you did Saturday and you see the atmosphere and you see the stage, like, we're expected to win these games. And if you're not up for that, don't come here. This is what it takes. I also think it helped having guys around the program last year, even in the last 2 weeks of the season when they came in at mid-year. The guys who were around that, they saw what it was like, and now that they're waiting for their turn to come. And so that's it. That's the expectation, and we know what it takes. It's a hard-working group. It starts with Mick in the weight room. I think we have a good staff. I think the guys understand it. They like working with each other. There's good chemistry. But I'm just telling you, we got a long way to go. We got to really grow every week, and we got to stay hungry, which we are right now.
How good does it make you feel, though? Because I know how much you love these kids and how much you care about them. All the former players that came back and wanted to be there, and they were so excited to see this football team play.
Yeah, it was great. They love being Buckeyes, and we have such great Buckeyes that come back. And there's so many. I think whether you're in the NFL or not, it's just great to have a bunch of guys come back and it's also just great to have the fans together for a big game in week one like that. We finished with such wild games and bringing everybody together at the end of the season to then see the way the crowd was, and then nationally when you saw the ratings and how many people were watching and everybody together again the first week of the season, that was unique and it was great. It was a great start that way. We're going to need everybody again this year. We're going to need them at home. We're going to need them at the games. We're going to need them on the road. We're going to need them at the tailgates. We're going to need them online. We're going to need them wherever we can possibly get them because our team appreciates the support.
How about a guy like Maurice Clarett, who you now have brought back to this program, and he's around? What does he mean to the kids?
Man, he's a special person. And I love the story of somebody who's been knocked down who gets back up. And when you are around Maurice, you learn quickly about how special he really is. He thinks different, he moves different, and he just brings a certain level of seriousness and toughness that I really appreciate. And he's become a friend and somebody that these players look up to.
How much more do we see from Julian this week? How much does the heat turn up?
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, every week is going to be an opportunity to grow and build. We're going to add some things this week, and I'm looking forward to see him get back on the field.
Last thing, I don't have to tell you, you're hoping this is going to be a 16-game season or whatever. Depth is crucial. It was so big last year. Do you try to play as many people as possible in this game, or do you hope to?
Well, you got to go win the game. So if you start worrying about that stuff, you can get yourself distracted fast and have a bad Saturday. So we're not going to do that. That being said, the more we need to build depth and guys need to play. So we want to get guys in the game, and we need to see how they do. We need to figure out who can grade out a champion, and that's good for the program. It's healthy to get guys in the game. They feel it. They're getting feedback, and then we go from there.
You know, the other thing is, you lost so many guys, and guys that haven't played, but they've been in this program a while.
That's right.
And the old saying is, you reload. These guys want to become the next legends, it seems like to me.
Yeah, and I think with everything going on with transfer portal and NIL, it still comes down to high school recruiting, developing young men, retaining them, and then going from there. You can fill some stuff in the transfer portal, but you got to have the right people who understand what this is, and a lot of it is what goes on right here in the weight room with Mick, and understanding, that this place, you don't just walk in and play, and you're not playing for yourself. You're playing for the Block O. You're playing for the brotherhood, and that's what makes great teams. It can't just be about yourself. And when you're part of a team, you have an identity. You have a support system. All these things. You can achieve something as a group. But when you do that, you have to sacrifice. And that may be sacrificing time, it might be sacrificing whatever, but it may be sacrificing snaps or I think about the running back position last year with Travion and Quinshawn. Talk about sacrifice. But look, it worked out for both of them. Not only was a championship won, but look, they both went on to have great seasons. That's just an example of that. That guys who are willing to sacrifice make great teammates, and ultimately the best team wins at the end.